なんとかなったみてえだな。神かける。これがスーパーサイヤ人3だ。
Gentlemen, welcome back for yet another Dragon Ball Legends video. It's the end of the month, which means it is a perfect time to do a tier list. I like to do these at the end of the month because all the releases we would have seen for this month are now done, so we can accurately gauge what the meta looks like now. We've all been asking for the meta to change. I feel like fighting Bardock and Rose got super tedious. A lot of the mono yellow teams got super boring. And the anniversary, thankfully, did exactly that. We also got a couple of surprises in this tier list. One of them all from a unique equip. If you were to say you would get a #1 character via a unique equip, people would have called you crazy. So let's just quickly jump into it. I do want to note, #1, these characters are at various star amounts. I don't 14 star everything, so do consider that when it comes to how I'm grading them. It's a reflection of how much damage they do on my front, how much damage they take, as well as my opponents and their star levels with these characters. And #2, this is just my own opinion. Everyone deals with either a different meta. I know in different regions, players play differently, prioritize things differently, have value in different aspects of kits. So this is all just how my experience is. But if you have differing experiences, let me know in the comment section below what your tier list would look like. But let's just jump in for #1. This is going to be no surprise. Yellow Goku Black. If you told somebody before the anniversary that Yellow Goku Black would be regarded as the best character in the game, they would have pointed at you, laughed, and they would have had a whole audience jump in just to point and laugh at you. This guy, when he came out, was under so much scrutiny. He released at the same time as the behemoth transforming Vegito Blue. And man, he just got overshadowed completely. I never thought he was a bad character, but there were big gaps in his kit. The unique gauge filling, it was difficult to deplete. He has a long animation green that has to hit to actually deplete the gauge. This character had just weird little problems in his kit that didn't make sense, especially when his arch nemesis that came with him had virtually no faults at all. With the unique equip that they gave him though, he has virtually no issues. The unique gauge that half his kit was tied to, you can comfortably deplete now that every time he shows up in the field, he's going to get the key and a blue card that he needs. That means that Goku Black is going to heal more often. Goku Black is going to provide no cover change debuffs. He's going to provide significant disrupt. He's going to be the tank he wanted to be. He already had small embers of sustainability in his kit. He's a character that heals when the opponent's combo ends. He's going to heal when the unique gauge is full. He's going to heal when the opponent swaps. Stuff like this helped him be a little bit defensive, but that little gap with his unique gauge is where he fell short. But now that he can continuously cycle through it, and the unique equip heals him every time he takes an arts card from the opponent, he became the defensive juggernaut he was supposed to be. The crazy part though is his multipliers. The unique equip gives him crazy damage inflicted, crazy overall stats. So not only is this character one of the bulkiest in the entire game, he is simultaneously one of the hardest hitting as well. Ask anybody, the blue cards from Goku Black hit like a truck. You would think this is Red Beast or something. Yellow Goku Black with the unique equip is just a completely different character. And the fact that he can be regarded as one of the best is a testament to how far they pushed that unique equip. Between all the bulk, the disrupting, all the blue card churning that he has, all the healing that he can do, and the teams that he synergizes on, I think Goku Black is the #1 character in the game. What a huge turnaround for what was otherwise a pretty scrutinized character. So #1, Goku Black. All right, so #2 is going to go to our first multi-transforming legend, Broly. In my opinion, Broly is the king of the neutral game. I'm sure you guys have experienced it as well. Nobody wants to attack this guy when he has a full gauge. You're gonna have to hit me eventually, you know. The free damage via the blue card is intimidating, and he is the sole reason everyone, when they make their teams, they focus up on having a purple character. It is just for Broly. He is that oppressive. Similar to Goku Black, this guy has absurd bulk. When your opponent tries to use a big move, he's gonna up his damage guard. He's gonna make himself type neutral. He's gonna heal. He's got debuffing in his kit. This character just does not want to die. But what makes it even more intimidating is he's gonna heal every time he uses a strike or a blast card. So feeding into his sustain is his own ability to go on the offense, which again feeds back into the defense. So he's a character that can basically be a one-man army. He's going to stack damage as he takes hits. He's going to stack damage as he attacks. The stacking of damage as he takes hits for a bulky character is not to be underestimated. I think Legend Bardock has proved that for us. He's a character that has the indestructible state. As he gets hit, he's going to be stacking up damage. And then finally, when Bardock gets priority, he hits like a truck. The exact same thing is true for Broly, except he's going to keep stacking damage even on the offense while making sure he can remain on the field. Oh, something that's not talked about enough is his Legends action making him go type neutral. So he can help deal with some of the purple characters. Granted, not Vegito, because that guy heals on the Legends action. So he can slowly chip away at characters that have type advantage over him. And then, of course, the guard action. I think there's only two versions of this anyways, but I think Broly obviously has a superior version. Not only is it free damage, but it is, again, another tool that has Broly win the neutral game. When you lose Vanish and your combo ends against your opponent, you can use this to hold everything down until you can get your Vanish back. Your opponent is left with a few options. Either they go with like an overdrive, a big move, or they have to go for a kick, but they're leaving themselves open to countermeasures. If you have Broly and you see your opponent charging down, then you know it's time to queue up a strike card. Your opponent is probably going to kick you, and if you time the strike, Broly again goes back on that rampage. We just talked about it. He's going to stack damage. He's going to continuously heal. If there's ever a 1v1 situation and Broly is type neutral or has type advantage, more often than not, Broly is going to win. He is a monster of a character that just feels like he does everything. 2 lives, debuffing, healing, stacking damage both ways, tons of damage guard on big moves. Broly is a monster, and for me, gonna be number 2. Now, number 3 is his best friend.
Hey Vegeta, we're friends now, right?
Fuck off.
The best.
Ultra Gogeta Blue. No surprise whatsoever, this guy, like Broly, stacks damage, but for Gogeta, it's on the offensive front. Both of them have that infamous 25% damage inflicted stacking, but Gogeta is also accompanied with the new, I'm saying new in air quotes here because it's an active skill, but the Stardust Fall ability. These crazy devs made his Stardust Fall not only put him in type neutral, but 100% of the damage gets distributed to the entire team. Now, the big criticism Gogeta has is the active ability does not one-shot people. It doesn't kill characters because it has no anti-endurance. The closest comparison to a move like this would be the Special Beam Cannon from Beast Gohan, and that was just one-shotting everyone left and right. But the trade-off for this is he's going to neutralize the entire team. We've talked about it for a while now, but it feels like we're in a timer count meta. Characters last too long, they got way too many ways of healing. The Stardust Fall, distributing 100% of the damage, was meant to push games closer to the finish line. It is an unbelievably overpowered mechanic. Now, I said it already, Broly has the better Legends action, the guard action. Gogeta's, in my opinion, is not that strong. I think it's very easy to just throw away. It doesn't really feel like it provides significant utility. I have been using Gogeta for a little while now, and I can only count maybe a few times in my hand how many times I've been able to leverage such a cool ability. So to me, he loses a couple points on that. And another weird thing is that they made him ranged. Gogeta is the ace for two main teams, Fusion Warriors and Movie Saga. Both of them have been strike-oriented since the start of time, since the dawn of time. I can't think of a time it's ever shifted over to being a more blast-centric team. It's always been strike-oriented. So I don't know why they made Gogeta ranged. Now, it would be okay if he had an even stat distribution, but his blast attack is 20,000 higher than his strike. So it's a little bit off, in my opinion, where his teams are. A little bit off, so I'm not really sure about that. But Gogeta, outside of that, this guy's unique gauge just gives him all the tools to just disregard a lot of the uncomfortable disruptive effects that exist in the game. He's basically protected from attribute downgrades with the full gauge. He's going to have the crazy damage inflicted. He can get some pretty consistent type neutral, because if you can actually leverage his guard action, you can net green cards. He's able to restore Vanish, allowing him to hold a very strong presence on the field. So all those things combined, he's just a juggernaut powerhouse of a character, and he definitely is just a key player in the meta, because one of the best characters is a behemoth ball of a yellow character. So for me, Gogeta is going to be number 3. One of the best, crazy damage dealer, so many tools in his kit. I just don't think his guard action is that valuable, and I also think that he's kind of held back a bit by his teams. That's the only thing. So those are going to be my top 3. Now, for number 4, this should be no surprise. It's Rose, Legend Rose. We've already talked about him in previous tier lists. Nothing has really changed. This character being so self-sufficient, with him getting tons of card draw speed, getting the blue cards, which translates to more ki, drawing multiple ultimates, still holds significant value. One thing that I've noticed is almost every character in this game is starting to come with a form of debuffing. 2 charges of debuffing on a blue card, 2 charges of debuffing on an ultimate. So Rose's ultimate abundance and blue card abundance is not just valuable in the damage that he can deal. It's also valuable in opening the floor for your other characters to use ultimates that actually kill people. His utilization now is to drain debuff charges that your enemy team may have. Look at the top 3. These guys all have debuffing. So Rose being able to churn out multiple blues and ults helps deplete those, opening the floor for other big moves to actually kill somebody off. Rose has the tons of type neutral, which helps him deal with Broly. The only reason why Rose has lost a few points is because, number 1, Gogeta Stardust Fall will comfortably eliminate this guy's first life, which was very key for this guy's overall sustainability. Him having endurance debuffing plus this crazy amount of healing with the 2 cards destroyed just made him feel like he was a wall you could not get through. But Stardust Fall being able to eliminate the first life makes it easier for you to take down Rose. Not just that, now we got Broly. We got our green plus character that now is applying pressure to him, but he also has one small problem, which is a Legend Broly comfortably getting blue cards to wither him down, but also his blue cards having the anti-endurance. However, this goes back to why Yellow Goku Black has so much value, because his unique equip now allows him to, even on standby, debuff blue cards. So the one singular weakness Legend Rose had, being blue cards, is no longer a weakness. It's been patched up by Yellow Goku Black. So that's why these two are just the ultimate best friend tag team duo for sure. But Legend Rose only lost a few points because if you run into other Yellow Goku Blacks, then he's going to have to watch out, because plenty of blue cards are coming his way. We now got a green plus character, and we got an ultra with a type neutral drop combo active ability that will just nullify his first life pretty comfortably. So Rose is still a beast in his own right, and he has a great friend in the form of Yellow Goku Black, but there's more opposition that exists in the game that is now pressuring him, so he's lost a few points. Next, number 5 for me is Legend Super Vegito. He actually lost a few points in these top 10 lists just because he started to deal with more oppressive opponents, especially with the crazy mono yellow meta that we had a little while back. You know, Bardock with Namek Goku and some other character put the pressure on him, but he's back. He's got some more value. They put him on the featured boost, and the big thing is he's the ultimate answer to dealing with Broly. Broly's big thing is he's going to launch a blue card coming your way every time you trigger his unique gauge, but Super Vegito will comfortably sponge those. In his kit, Super Vegito will heal 3% of his HP, get 15 ki, and some damage inflicted every time he draws a card. So Super Vegito is the one to trigger Broly's blue card, which destroys the entire opponent hand. It just means that Super Vegito goes back to full HP, he gets all the ki that he lost back, and he's going to get all his cards. He's going to be completely comfortable. Him being purple plus is another nice little plus because, see what I did there? A nice little plus because it helps him deal additional damage to what is otherwise a very dominant green. Similar to Legend Rose, he can draw multiple ultimates, and multiple ultimates means you can drain more debuff charges and just churn out far more damage. So Super Vegito is going to be number 5 for me. I have seen teams of people run Super Vegito with Gogeta and then they leader slot 13 just to super juice up those two together between the red and purple synergy. So that's something that could work with a ton of Zenkai buffers. But yeah, Super Vegito for me is going to be number 5. Next, number 6. I'm giving it to Ultra Sword of Hope Trunks. I think this character is probably the most underrated character right now. Sword of Hope never really had... It never felt like he had a proper flushed out team. His best team would probably be hybrids. This game does... They just kind of go above and beyond when it comes to hybrid Saiyans, and they have really, really powerful equips with other hybrid Saiyan allies. But Trunks' second best team would be Future. Yellow Goku Black getting this huge resurgence and Rose now having a good buddy means that Sword of Hope Trunks is looking at 2 competent allies that he could be ran with. As a matter of fact, I used that setup when we demonstrated what Goku Black could do with his unique equip, Yellow Goku Black. Not only that though, I think now, more than ever, is his active skill providing value. The Final Hope Slash just feels like one of the few big moves that can actually kill somebody. He's gonna be type neutral. You can comfortably stack damage with Sword of Hope. You could do a nice little drop combo and then you can actually kill someone. The Final Hope Slash is not treated like an arts card, so nobody can debuff it. So a well-timed snipe with his active skill can easily turn the tides of the battle. Because you are aware of what the progress in the bar is, and your opponent isn't, you can play around timing when Sword of Hope is back on the field to when your opponent swaps out to someone with type advantage and then you snipe him out. So many instances of me using Trunks exactly like that. I'm going to be on the offensive, my opponent goes to a Legend Super Vegito or a Goku Black, drop combo, Final Hope Slash, either kill them or get them pretty damn close to being killed. So now that he has better allies around him, now that he has one of the few big moves that can actually kill one of these guys, because you'll notice everybody here has debuffing in 2 lives, I think Sword of Hope Trunks definitely needs to be up here. I think people are sleeping on him. I think once they get more comfortable using the Final Hope Slash to get the kills, they'll realize that, yeah, Trunks really is that guy. Alright, for number 7, yet another LF character that got value through a unique equip, we're going to go with Nappa. Nappa's unique equip gave him all the bulk and multipliers he needed to be a much better character. Baseline kit, truthfully, Nappa, Revival to Vegeta, they didn't really do a lot of crazy things. They're kind of like I do a little bit of this, I do a little bit of that character. But once they got all the significant stat padding, they became far more intimidating. You'll notice that this is one of the few characters up here that has a Revival. Their second life doesn't come in the form of Endurance, but instead Revival, which means it's Final Hope Slash, from Trunks won't be able to just completely decimate him. All these characters with the big move won't be able to easily snipe him out. So having that revival is pretty valuable when there's so many kill switch abilities from these guys. The reason why I'm putting him lower is because his teams. Powerful Opponent is going back to being far more strike oriented, and if it ever came down to you wanting to use a purple character in the leader slot, you would probably want to go with Vegito anyways. He just flows better. In my opinion, the best powerful opponent lineup is going to be Broly, Rose with yellow Goku black, which means he kind of got pushed out as part of the main lineup. And if somebody was to go with a purple anyways, to ensure that this flows together, it makes more sense to go with like a Super Vegito in the leader slot versus Nappa to Vegeta. They're more range focused anyways. So Nappa is still really good. Nappa is still really bulky. But when it comes to his ranking right now, he's only lost points because I think his teams have a far more competent main lineup, and doesn't really feel like he would be there. I think people would rather run these three than they would have Nappa in there. And if they really desperately wanted to run a purple character, they would lean more towards Super Vegito, because the one reason why you would even bother with the purple is to deal with Broly, and you want purple plus. If it's not that, then Nappa is probably delegated to being your second purple option, which means he automatically would be lower in the top 10. So there is Nappa. We got him at number 7. And then for number 8, I am going to go ahead and throw in Legend Bardock. Bardock probably lost the most points on this list, and it's mainly because of this guy, Stardust Fall. I think Stardust Fall just does so much damage. They really wanted to have these matches come to a close, and what's hurting Bardock isn't the fact that he has Indestructible State. Indestructible State is his main ace, and he's going to be defensively neutral, so something like Stardust Fall is not just going to kill him right away. The problem is what it does to everyone else on the team, or to Bardock if he's not the one to take the hit. Stardust Fall makes it a lot easier to kill off Bardock because you have no reason not to just launch it right away. That opens up the floor to far more opportunities for Bardock to be at very low HP without you even needing to use an arts card to kill him off, because Bardock, outside of his Indestructible State, is extremely vulnerable. Now, if he has it, he's still very valuable on the teams. I mean, 2 of the characters in this meta are going to be purple, and having a yellow plus character means that he can put the pressure on these guys. But I think at this point, the damage output from all the characters that we have it's just absurd. Either the teams of the other characters are simply better, or individually, the damage that comes out of these guys is just a detriment for Bardock to be sponging. Even if he has Indestructible State and he can comfortably tank Gogeta's Onslaught, you're going to be ending a match with your opponent doing 40 million damage because Bardock was just getting slapped left and right. He's still good, he can still do what he needs to do, but there are more characters that can put up with Bardock and deal with him. I mean, even Gogeta's unique gauge won't care about Bardock trying to increase his arts cost. He has all these tools to deal with him. So Bardock is still top 10. Top 10 is still means that it's a great character, but he loses points because all these other characters are starting to show up, and they're able to just churn out so much damage that not having someone that could either end the combo or dish out equally as much is starting to become more of a problem. And if it's not those, then it's just the team composition. So good old Bardock, numero 8. All right, number 9. I'm going to go with Android 13. This guy is in the A tier boost for this season, and his 2 biggest teams got a huge power boost. Number 1, Movie Saga with the Broly and the Gogeta, and number 2, Powerful Opponent with Rose, Yellow Goku Black, and Broly. Him being in the A tier boost allows him to sponge hits that otherwise would have done crazy damage to him. But all of his teams have just one-man army powerful characters. If we look at powerful opponent, you probably are going to be running Broly with the yellow Goku Black. They don't need another damage dealer. They need somebody that can act as the battery between the two. They need another person that can support them and amplify them. And Fusion 13, Android 13 is the perfect answer to that. If it's not powerful opponent, then think about Movie Saga. One of the most popular teams in the game is the green Broly with the red Gogeta. You got two one-man army characters together. What do they need? Not another one-man army character. They want a support. Android 13 is exactly that. Giving these characters healing, tons of overall damage inflicted, green and blue from his main ability, also providing whatever team he sits on with a revival character, something that we said is very valuable coming out of Nappa. What's not to love? I think with the A tier boost and all of his teams getting amplified and just being riddled with one-man army characters, a support character just fits the bill perfectly. And who better than what is regarded as the best support ever than Android 13? So I got him at number 9. I think he's pretty great. And then finally, for number 10, I'm going to throw in Buhan. Similar to Android 13, his main teams got powered up, mainly powerful opponent. But you'll notice that we got some strong yellows in the meta still. Mainly yellow Goku Black. So Buhan being a strong red just automatically gives him value. So his teams got better. There's more opponents for him to have type advantage over. So for those two reasons, he automatically just becomes top 10 for me. The only thing for him is, I think last time I had him at like number 3 in the previous list that I did, he's got far more oppression, right? Broly will comfortably sponge anything that comes out of Buhan. Gogeta with the Stardust Fall is basically going to one-shot Buhan. Rose's Legends actions, his churning of ultimates and blues will translate to a shredded Buhan. Final Hope Slash is going to shred Buhan. So he has far more opposition and things to worry about now. But because his teams are better and he's going to have a type advantage over some strong yellow characters like yellow Goku Black, he gets some points for those reasons. But either way, this is my top 10 list. You guys let me know what you think about it. I do have some honorable mentions I want to quickly throw in here. Now, honorable mentions are still great characters. However, either their teams haven't seen a power-up right now, or they aren't the primary option on the teams that you would be running. An example of that would be Full Power Super Saiyan 4. Once he got the yellow Super Saiyan 4 to help him out, these two were just, they had a very strong grip on the meta. But once we got Legends Rose constantly throwing out blues and ultimates and maintaining his type neutral, it just killed that team. Legend Rose single-handedly killed that team. So he exhausted all the instant transmission charges, all the debuff charges, and always staying type neutral basically meant the sustain that Full Power and yellow Super Saiyan 4 were providing one another, he didn't care. So that they got killed off, but it's still a strong duo. So I'm going to put those two there still. Let me just quickly find yellow Super Saiyan 4 in this list. So those two are going to be in honorable mentions. I also want to throw in Gohan. Gohan's big issue now is probably his teams. I think that's definitely holding him back. Trunks probably fits better on Future than he would on Hybrids right now. Hybrids need some more characters. Not to mention Legend Rose hurt him too. We got more characters with anti-revival-esque gimmicks here. And then, Legend Rose provides the support for the team if he deals with a Sun family enemy. So that hurt him pretty bad. And now we have a Green Plus character. So more oppression for our friend Gohan. I also think it's worth throwing Janemba up here. I think Janemba with the A tier boost and people wanting to run Android 13 means that he automatically has some value. The only thing that I dislike about Janemba is that he doesn't get a card on entry which can catch people off guard. But his unique gauge giving him uncancelable type neutral is pretty valuable because Gogeta exists. Is something we've visited before and we've seen that he can put up some really good numbers. The problem is on powerful opponent, you'd probably want to run yellow Goku Black anyways. So I got him in honorable mentions. I also think fusing Gogeta is worth throwing in here as well. The character having the anti-endurance passively in his kit is nice. And if you wanted to run a range-based Fusion Warrior team or Movie Saga team, he's going to be the second character, 100%. Common team is Android 13, Ultra Gogeta Blue, and then the Synchro Gauge Gogeta ran together. The only reason why I have him in honorable mention is because his damage guard numbers now, all these other guys just do so much that this guy just gets one shot left and right. Vegito is going to one-shot him. Legend Rose is going to one-shot him. Yellow Goku Black will certainly one-shot him. He doesn't have a second life mechanic, so although you can bank on the Disrupt to stop a combo, Stardust Fall is going to one-shot him. There's far more oppression for him to deal with. There's also another character I wanted to throw in here. Where is he? I wanted to throw in Piccolo. Piccolo is still a great character individually, but Piccolo was done dirty by his teams. I don't know why, but they waited too long to Zenkai Awaken the Cell, and then Piccolo got no other allies otherwise. Feels like a very questionable release, and I'm also going to throw Mini Super Saiyan 3 in that list. Mini Super Saiyan 3, his Legends action could be one of the strongest answers for Broly. The problem is his teams blow. I don't know how this game went 2 Daima celebrations through, and the team still isn't top tier. This is the kind of character that would benefit tremendously from some competent allies, and him having Purple Plus would be very nice to dealing with Broly, but he's just held back so badly by his teams. It also doesn't help that he just recently left the featured boost, so he's held back quite a bit by his teams. But this is what I wanted to put together. I think this is a pretty good honorable mentions list. I think it's a pretty good top 10. But you guys let me know in the comment section below what you think. What is your current top 10? What do you think are the best characters? What sort of teams do you like fighting, running into, running yourselves? What would you change around? Otherwise, until next time, guys, peace.